Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been demoted on the royal family website. They've been sent right to the bottom of the website and their profiles have been amalgamated and consolidated into a single, much shorter profile, which I'm going to look at in this video. But first of all, if you're new to me, I'm Daniel Smith, a barrister of England and Wales. Please do hit that subscribe button. About 70% of you don't, which blows my mind because millions of you watch my channel every month, for which I'm truly grateful, but I'd be even more grateful if you hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for doing that now. So let's take a look at this, shall we? So in a move that is being downplayed, probably quite rightly so, by Buckingham Palace because it's a very humble establishment. They say that, according to the Telegraph, that this has been a routine update to the website. However, many of you might think that that's quite a significant deal, but there's also one or two intricate things that I find legally interesting about this as well. So, broadly speaking, they've been quite literally sent to the bottom. Underneath Prince Andrew here, or depending if you open up the webpage, they might appear beside it. I don't think so. It's jumping around for me, so I think it's at the bottom. So they've gone from having individual profiles to one consolidated profile. Now, I went into the archives and found individual profiles on archive.org here. I've removed all the photographs in case you hadn't noticed, because photographs have got a very particular application of copyright law in the UK. So I've removed those photographs to avoid any complications. But this was the original Duchess of Sussex website, Meghan Markle's profile here, which had several pages, her biography, charitable work, and so on, and went to great detail. As did Prince Harry's profile here, have individual pages, and had references to continuing to support the monarch, etc. But all of that has been removed and replaced with a consolidatory page, if I can find it here, to this one here. So this is now a single page at the address royal.uk/Sussex and titled The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And Prince Harry's, according to the Telegraph, Prince Harry's profile has been reduced from about 2,600 words to a couple of hundred words, so significantly shorter. The Telegraph also makes an interesting point that the passages stating that the Sussexes were balancing their time between the US and the UK, are continuing to honour their duties to the monarch and Commonwealth, has been removed. That was quite an interesting observation there. But also mentions that the Telegraph, mentions that this bio page now also says information about the current work of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex can be found on the official website, sussex.com. And there's another portion about titles and statements and announcements in a minute. But I'll come back to those in a minute, because it's this bit here that I want to mention first. Because, of course, the reference to sussex.com was the relaunch, the rebrand, which was previously sussexroyal.com, and there was a bit of a debate as to using royal in the name, and obviously that was condemned, and so it's now been relaunched as sussex.com. Many people raised the question of the legality of using a coat of arms and references and making it look very royal, although there were questions raised as to doing business through a website that used a coat of arms. But with this royal.uk page referencing sussex.com directly and not making any other reference to the coat of arms, we can infer that that is supporting, or at the very least, if not supporting, not condemning the use of the coat of arms on that website, sussex.com. That is not to say that there are not ongoing discussions and potentially arguments as to whether or not they should use that coat of arms on that website. But for now, at the very least, this biography page refers to that website and suggests that that has been endorsed. The interesting sections here that I come to are the titles and the statements section, because the titles section makes it clear. Now, it's interesting to note that other members of the royal family don't have a dedicated section like this talking about titles, perhaps because it is for the both of them, and perhaps you might say that it warrants some explanation as to the use of those titles if they've stepped back from royal life. There's been a lot of debate about the use of titles. Many people in the comment section saying that they should no longer use those titles if they're not working members of the royal family. But this makes clear here what their official titles are and how they got them. It says the Duke and Duchess were given their titles by Queen Elizabeth II on the day of their marriage, and then it goes on to describe their official titles. Another interesting point here is that it was necessary for Buckingham Palace to include this section on statements and announcements. The first announcement being that where the Duke and Duchess made a statement confirming that they are stepping back as senior members of the royal family after many months of discussion, etc. And not more than 10 days later, a statement from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II to say that a constructive and supportive way forward has been found. But I'll come back to that in a minute. And because a year and a month later, there was a further statement from Buckingham Palace confirming that they will not be returning as working members of the royal family, because there was much speculation as to whether or not they were coming back to do additional work with the royal family. That statement from January 2020 that I referred to was this one here. This, a statement from Her Majesty the Queen, said, following many months of conversations and more recent discussions, I am pleased that together we've found a constructive and supportive way forward for my grandson and his family. Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved members of the family. I recognise the challenges they've experienced as a result of intense scrutiny over the last 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. But you will recall that this was January 2020, and just over a year later was the interview between Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey, the now infamous interview. Which is all a bit strange, because even as early as January 2020, there were news reports of Oprah Winfrey denying a tell-all interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle about their departure from the United Kingdom. So many might quite rightly believe that this is what led to the final statement by Buckingham Palace that they would not be returning as working members of the royal family. And so this, now a much shortened version of their amalgamated profile, having removed their individual profiles, to me, whilst Buckingham Palace have humbly said that this was a routine website update to make amendments, etc., according to the Telegraph source at Buckingham Palace. In my view, this is more significant than that. In my view, this is minimalising their presence on the royal family website and quite literally moving them to the bottom to a single page. And in Harry's case, reducing his profile from some 2,600 words to barely a tenth at about 200 words. And as I said, the passage that stated that the Sussexes were balancing their time between the US and the UK and continuing to honour their duty to the monarch, the Commonwealth and their patronages have been removed. So again, this is quite a significant update in my view, albeit it's been somewhat downplayed by Buckingham Palace. So make of that what you will. Leave me your thoughts and comments in the box below, politely and respectfully, please. Do make sure you subscribe here, please, because about 78% of you don't. It's the one thing I ask of you in return for spending countless hours of my time to produce these videos for you, and hopefully there is some assistance to you. I'd like to break for just 30 seconds or so to show you some products that I really love. I'm a massive fan of carbon fiber. It's light, it's strong and durable. And after making a comment, Exeter sent me these wallets, which are made from carbon fiber, exquisitely crafted, and pop out your cards at a moment's notice. They come in various different styles and colours and fantastic patterns of carbon fibre, or there is also the leather variety if you prefer a more traditional wallet. Each of them has this function to pop out your cards, and if you're like me and you're forever losing your wallet, they even do a trackable device which slots inside the wallet so that you can always track it via an app on your phone. So check out my affiliate link in the description below, and remember to use the code Barrister. So thank you for that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.